Okay, so we're going to call this meeting to order. Welcome to the Montclair City Council meeting. And as we normally do, we'll begin with the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance. And I'm going to ask that our city clerk announce those two individuals. Come on,
Okay.
Carol.
Tonight's invocation will be given by Carolyn Prestern of Inland Empire Prayer Breakfast Committee, and the pledge will be given by Mayor Pro Tem Johnson.
Great, please stand.
Dear Heavenly Father, I thank you tonight for the mayor, city council members, city manager, city staff, and citizens in attendance. I give thanks for the way of service that they have chosen to take up on behalf of all the people of Montclair. I pray for wisdom and strength, for courage for them to do what is right and good. May they continue to put the interests of others above their own, and may they act with kindness. May they continue to be good neighbors, recognizing your image in every person they meet. I thank you again for this governing body and those who work to make this place, what we call home, such a wonderful city. Amen.
Amen.
Please join me in the salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Have roll call, please.
First, I would like to state that Councilmember Rue is participating remotely, so all votes tonight will be by roll call. Councilmember Lopez.
Here.
Councilmember Martinez. Here. Councilmember Rue.
Councilman Rue, are you there? Councilman Rue, hello?
Oh, it looks like he got... Sorry, it looks like he left and rejoined, so I'm just promoting him to a panelist.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, Councilmember Rue?
Hello?
Hi.
Hi,
Yes,
okay.
thank you. And Mayor Pro Tem Johnson?
I'm here.
Pray.
Present.
Okay, thank you.
Great. So tonight we have 4 presentations that we'll be doing, and I want to ask my council colleagues to please join me down here below the dais. So come on down and get started. So the first presentation is a donation by the Montclair Chamber of Commerce to the Montclair Community Foundation for the Montclair to College program. So come on up, Montclair Chamber of Commerce. There he is.
Good evening, Mayor Dutray, council, and staff. Most of you know my name is Steve Hammett, Board Chair of Montclair Chamber of Commerce. As you may be aware, the Chamber of Commerce coordinates the annual Street Banner Program. Each year, a portion of the proceeds from the program is donated to the Montclair Community Foundation in support of Montclair High School students. It is my distinct pleasure, on behalf of the Montclair Chamber of Commerce, to present you with a check of $1,579.60 on behalf of the program. Please come forward, Mayor Dutray, and present to you with the actual check. And do we have a picture? Oh, there we go. Okay, may I?
Right here in front of the council. Come on over. Don't be shy. You can stand here between Ms. Johnson, myself, Mayor Pro Tem Johnson, and myself. See? There you are. Wait, Steve. One more. Yeah, Steve, some comments I want to make real fast. Thank you very much. And we just had our Montclair to College program last week where we honored, I think, 68 graduates from Montclair High School that'll be going to Shady College 2-year tuition free. No tuition for 2 years at JV College. And so this is very much appreciated from the Montclair Chamber of Commerce. And I'm going to give this check over to Marcia Richter, because I don't trust myself with that check there. So, but thank you very much, Montclair Chamber of Commerce. Another clap of hands for them. Second presentation is from the Southern California Edison, and they're going to present their 2023 Edison Scholar Award and $50,000 scholarship to Montclair High School student Antonio Camarello. So we have anything here from Edison, $50,000, that's a lot of money. Come on up. Why don't you go ahead and start, go ahead.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, City Council, and staff. My name is Jennifer Shaw with Southern California Edison. I'm your Government Relations Manager covering the City of Montclair. I also have with me my colleague, Melissa Boyd. She is also a Government Relations Manager. We're here also with the Assistant Principal, Mr. Mangione. Yes. And we're so proud to present this scholarship. This year, out of hundreds of applications that we get, 30 were selected as Edison Scholars, and one of them is Antonio Camarillo. So please come on up, Antonio, and your parents. And he is going to be awarded $50,000 to go to a university, which he's chosen UC San Diego, to study aerospace engineering. So we are so proud of him. And we would love to take a picture.
Before we do pictures, I know there are members of the legislature here, so I'm going to ask first the representative from Congressman Omar Torres. Come on up, Sophia.
Hi, everybody. It's an honor to be here on behalf of Congresswoman Norma Torres, who is currently in D.C. And so on her behalf, I wanted to present this special Congressional Certificate of Recognition to Antonio Camarillo in recognition of your commitment to excellence in the fields of science, technology, engineering, and math. Together with the City of Montclair, we congratulate you on your remarkable achievement of receiving a $50,000 college scholarship. Best wishes for your future endeavors at UC San Diego, and congratulations.
Next, if you want to stand right over here next to Carissa. Next, I want to, from State Senator Susan Rubio's office. Come on down.
Hi, everyone. My name is Anthony Moreno. I'm with State Senator Susan Rubio's office. I'm happy to be here today to recognize Antonio Camarillo for being selected as a 2023 Edison Scholar. As some of you may know, the senator was a teacher for 17 years. So whenever we have the chance to recognize our students, we always want to be able to do that. So congratulations, Antonio, and we wish you the best.
All right, and I'm going to introduce from State Assembly Member Freddie Rodriguez's office.
Hi, good evening. Buenas tardes. I'm also here on behalf of Assemblymember Rodriguez, who is in Sacramento, but he just wanted to extend his congratulations to you and your family. This is a huge accomplishment, and as they mentioned, not many are able to do this, but you did. You're representing the City of Montclair and your family and yourself, so we wish you a lot of success at UC San Diego. So on behalf of Assemblymember Freddie Rodriguez, he commends you for your commitment towards a career in STEM, and he looks forward to all of your accomplishments. Best wishes for continued success in your academic journey and beyond.
On behalf of the City of Montclair, myself and the City Council, we also want to present you a certificate of all the hard work you've done. Congratulations on being selected for the Edison Scholar, and of course the $50,000 scholarship you'll get there. And then we also want to commend you on your future as you continue on. You're going to be a great leader, whatever community you go into, and that's what we need. We need great leaders like you. So thank you for all your hard work. And I know you have some very proud parents right there. So with that, we'll take some pictures. One more?
You should be very proud of yourself, aren't you? I would be very proud of myself. I didn't get a $50,000 scholarship. You should be really proud. And kudos to your parents. They have done well by you. But that's not the main thing I need to tell you. On behalf of Supervisor Kurt Hagman, who could not be here, he would like to recognize you for your accomplishment, and the certificate says, in recognition of your remarkable achievement of being an Edison Scholar recipient presented by Southern California Edison, congratulations.
Gracias. Okay, so the next proclamation or next presentation as we wait a couple minutes. Is the National Day of Prayer proclamation. I'm going to ask that Carolyn Pressure please come up with the Inland Empire Prayer Breakfast Committee, which you've already met her once. So Carolyn, obviously National Day in Prayer has been a day that annually is celebrated by many, especially among the Christian community, but also others from other religious communities as well. And it's a day that I think it's important that we have an opportunity to remember not just our Lord and our religious beliefs, but also the reason why we are here on this planet is to really show respect and peace and harmony for our neighbors and for, of course, everyone on this planet. And so this is an important day to continue to have, so this way we continue to have values in addition to everything I just said. So on behalf of the Montclair City Council, myself, I'd like to proclaim May 4th, 2023 as a National Day of Prayer here in the city of Montclair.
Thank you, Mayor and council people. Thank you for letting me come, and my associate Carol Williams is also part of our committee. And we meet for 4 months to plan and pray for this event. And we're thankful that some of you have already come in the past and that some will be coming this year. We have over 500 people attend. We represent 30 different churches and ministries, so we are ecumenical in that regard. We actually have a time of eating and a time of prayer, and then we also have a program where we send out cards to 4 different people groups, and one being the elected officials. We have done this for 30 years. I wasn't on the committee at first, but I have been active for a long time, and we really want to let you know that we really do care for you, not just on the National Day of Prayer, and we appreciate the proclamation. People have asked me, what do you do with the proclamations? Well, first of all, on Thursday, we're going to put them on display for all the people that are there to recognize that you have recognized us. The other thing that we do with them is that committee members get to take them home. So when we have somebody from Montclair who like to take it home for their office, and so we just don't put them in the trash, we really do treasure them. So thank you very much. I have a couple, we have a very limited few seats left. I'm gonna leave the invitations on the counter, and then whoever would like to come, my number's on here, but please call me as soon as you can so I can tell the hotel we're gonna plan for more people. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, and I apologize. I'll be at a SCAG event, Southern California Association of Governments. Their annual event always takes place on the first Thursday of May, which is also the same day of the National Prayer Day. So that's the conflicting we have. So
We can't, I still haven't figured out how to be in 2 places at the same time, so I totally understand.
well,
Thank you so
for
much.
being here.
Thank you.
And then finally, is a proclamation declaring Montclair as the Purple Heart City. Unfortunately, the person, Raymond Witzel, from chapter 2929 from the Military Order of the Purple Heart, he cannot be here today, so he cannot attend this in person, but we'll obviously provide that. But just to indicate here that the Purple Heart is to recognize the soldiers who have been wounded while they have engaged in combat with the enemy force. And so May 6th is the day that we will recognize here in the city of Montclair as being the Purple Heart Day. On behalf of the city of Montclair, myself, the mayor, and of course, city council. So we will make sure that this is received by Raymond with the Military Order of the Purple Heart, chapter 2929. So with that, thank you. And we will now go down to public comment. So this is an opportunity for members of the public to speak on any item that's not on the agenda. They have 5 minutes, or if they wish to speak on one or several items in the consent calendar, there's an opportunity to speak as well, and they'll have 5 minutes for that as well. If you're on Zoom, you just raise your raised hand feature to request to speak. If you're on the phone, you hit *9 to speak. If you're in the audience, you can fill out the white card and give that to Mike to request to speak as well. Again, the council can't not discuss any item that's not on the agenda. And we will now begin with our city clerk, and I want to ask her if she's got any speakers for today.
Thank you. First, we have Jennifer Shaw from Southern California Edison did want to say something separate from the presentation.
Welcome again, Jennifer.
Hello again. I have some bittersweet news. I wanted to let you all know that I will be leaving the company. Yes, we're moving, my family and I are moving to Texas. And so my official last day is June 1st. And so I really wanted to introduce Melissa Boyd to you. She will be taking over my position and covering the city of Montclair. And I leave you in great hands. She's just wonderful, and she's got lots of experience in San Bernardino County. And so I just want to thank you all for your relationship with Edison and your support, Ed. It's just been great to work with you. And so thank you again for all your support. And Melissa would like to introduce herself.
Evening, Honorable Mayor and council members. Thank you for having us tonight. I am a long-time, basically from the beginning, Inland Empire native. I haven't gone very far, so this community is very close to me. As Jennifer mentioned before, I used to work for the Board of Supervisors, and I worked for several Assembly members and state members as well. So very familiar with this community and the area and the Inland Empire. My heart is definitely here. So I look forward to serving you and helping you in any way that we can. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me. My business card has been given so that every single one of you should have my contact information. Okay.
Well, thank you. Welcome aboard, Marilyn and Jennifer. It's been a pleasure to work with you, and enjoy Texas. You bet.
Mr. Mayor, if I might.
Go ahead.
I want to publicly thank you, Jennifer, for all the assistance that you've given when I've had residents complain about outage issues. You've been on it. One particular family, I don't remember the Ogdens, I believe they needed electricity for their husband's oxygen machine who was out, just recently released from the hospital. Within, I believe, 2 hours or less of us interacting and an email being sent to you, their power was restored. And that was after they were with 3 days without power. So thank you so much for your quick response and caring about this community. And you're to be commended, and all the best in Texas.
I appreciate that. I remember that case, and oh, it was so dear, that couple, and thank you for bringing it to my attention. And we were able to act on it quickly. So thank you to you, council member. I appreciate
Welcome. Thank you
that.
for that as well.
All right. Thank you.
Great.
All right, next we have a couple of representatives from the Montclair Chamber of Commerce. Jordi Ubaldo, I don't know if you both want to come up at the same time, and Kalia Redwood.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, City Council, and City staff. My name is Jordi Baldo. I am one of the events coordinator over at the Montclair Chamber. And
hi, I'm Kalia Redwood, one of the event coordinators from the Chamber as well.
And we are here today to introduce, obviously, one of our new staff that you guys have seen around, but also to invite you to our networking breakfast, which is on Thursday, May 11th, 8:30 to 10 a.m. Justin Scott Cole from the Monte Vista Water District, General Manager, will be the one presenting on weather whiplash. So we invite everybody to be there. Location will be over at Aqua Ridge. So we look forward to seeing you guys there.
And I would like to invite everyone to our electronic waste event, which will be on May 27th and 28th from 9 to 2 p.m., where you can drop off any electronics that you guys don't use that has a plug-in.
Great.
Any questions, we'd be happy to answer.
No, thank you.
I have a question,
go ahead.
Mr. Mayor. There's, I believe there's something happening in August that we need to talk about.
Yes, we're also starting to advertise. We are going to be hosting a Night in the Garden, or a Night Under the Stars event. We are partnering with the Chino Water Basin Conservation District on Thursday, June 17th at 6:30 through 6:30 all the way to 8:30, and that is going to be our end of summer event that we're putting together. We are going to be bringing on several different components to this event. We're going to have live music. We're going to have a taste of Montclair, from small appetizers, desserts, a little bit of everything. We're also going to have a wine and beer available there with the purchase of a ticket, and then also you can purchase any beverages there on the spot as well. And we're also going to be doing some raffles as well, and we'll also be enjoying the evening outside.
Great. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next, is this Jose Perez? Or is it Pena? We'll soon
Hello,
find out.
how are you doing?
Evening. I want to say thank you for taking my time. I know I've been pushing this issue for quite a while. It's not an agenda, but it's an important issue for me and the community of Vernon. The actual sidewalk in front of my street, I've been requesting it for be paved for quite a while. I know I spoke to Mr. Reese Johnson, Mr. Lopez, and Mr. Starr last time I spoke. It was considered. I would like to take this time to actually request it in a little bit more formal matter. There's just been so many things occurring in that intersection as far as parents not respecting the stripings of the street. The solar stop lights have not been actually respected. With Chief Abel's patrolling of that intersection is great. There's just a little bit more patrolling during the hours of schooling. I've been seeing a lot of parents doing illegal U-turns. I would hate for another death to occur. I witnessed it. It's something that's always in my mind. I consider that intersection as being as an angel intersection. No kids should have to struggle to get to school, should have any obstacles, any unleveled grounds, and it's also in front of my house. I have no kids. I consider each and every one of those as my kids, so that's the reason why I'm pushing this issue to get all that intersection paved. Let's put away the grass. I met with actually Congresswoman Ms. Torres approximately a month ago. We spoke a little bit about this issue. She said she was in favor of anything that we need to get done that she would assist. And this is just the time that I would like for you guys to consider this and try to see if we can get this issue solved, not only for me, for the community, and for the future of Montclair. Thank you for your time. Appreciate you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I'll assume that staff will take a look at it and see if any additional improvements are warranted or if there's any deficiencies at that site. Okay, so, I'm sorry, go ahead, Andrea.
Okay, and our last speaker is Carolyn Raft, who is on Zoom.
And I believe, Carolyn, you have two items. You want to give us an update on the vector control, and there's a consent calendar you want to speak on. So how about, 5 minutes each, since they're two different items?
Okay, you want me to speak both of them now or wait till?
Just start with the vector control first. And
Okay.
we'll start with 5 minutes there. Then if you have any consent calendars items, I usually have another 5 minutes for that. So go ahead.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Good evening, Mayor, City Council, and staff. I had a email come across this afternoon that I wanted you to be aware of. Our director, Michelle Brown, sent it over to us to let us know that they've been doing aerial surveillance on pools. And in 2022, Montclair had 40 pools that were in bad condition and that were surveilled. But this time, when they did it the same time this year, there's 54. So it's up 35.0%. So that's something I thought that the staff may want to be aware of so that they can keep an eye out for them as well. And also, I would like to congratulate Montclair High School student Antonio Carmelo. That's a great thing, and $50,000 is going to go a ways for him. So I congratulate him on that, and any of the others that perhaps that won some scholarships. So thank you very much, and I'll talk to you on the.
Well, if you want to right now,
other item.
Carolyn, go ahead, Carolyn. If you want to speak on your consent calendar item, which one is it you want to speak on?
Oh, I wanted to speak on the one for the, that's you're considering doing getting away from AMR, that you want to go
That's
on
item
bonfire.
C5? Okay, go ahead, Carolyn. C5.
Oh, okay. I'm really glad that you guys are considering this because I've had in myself in the past quite a few times complaints on AMR, but and so I really am hoping that you guys are going to go through with this because I think it would be a better deal for Montclair response time as well, and they would have the proper equipment that would be needed for particularly to save lives. So that's, if I was on the council, I'd be voting for it myself. So, thank you very much.
Thank you, Carolyn. Okay, do we have any other speakers, or was that the last one?
That was the last one.
Okay. We are now under a consent calendar item, and I'm going to start with Councilman Rue, if he has anything he wants to pull out the consent calendar. Councilman Rue, are you there?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I am here. And no, I do not have an
Okay.
item tonight to
Okay.
pull. Thank you.
Councilmember Lopez, do you have anything?
Yes,
Or-
Mr. Mayor,
or
C like Charlie 4, C like Charlie 5.
C4 and C5. And Ed, did you have anything? Your light's
Yes,
on.
D1.
D1. And then how about my left? Anybody?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. B11, C4, C5,
Wait,
D1.
wait. Which one again?
B like boy, 11.
B11? Okay.
C4, C5, D like David, 1.
C4, C5, and what?
D like David, 1.
D1. So those three have been pulled. Okay.
And nothing from me, thank you.
Okay, so let's just do this. Ed, why don't you lead off?
Staff would like to pull item D1 and continue that to a future meeting so that we can make some technical changes to the agenda report.
This is regarding the houses, okay, to transfer the houses. Okay, continue, we're going to continue D1. Okay, Ben, why don't you go next? You're next.
I'm just making a notation, just one sec, okay. For purposes of a comment on item C4, it is requesting that we reject the bid proposal from one company, Great Western, because information or the bid submitted was incomplete. What specifically was missing from their proposal?
Public Works Director Monica Heredia is moving up to the podium to address the question, but I believe it's just a lack of appropriate documentation.
Correct. Good evening, council members, staff. Yes, the Great Western installation failed to submit all of the proper documentation, including bid bonds and other references and things like that for the project.
So there's just those two items?
There's several and
Okay.
other things. I don't have my list in front of me, but we did send them a letter that we were rejecting their bids, and they received it. They did not contest it.
Is it customary for us to reach out and then ask, well, I take it once a deadline is submitted, we can't give the entity an opportunity to resubmit, because that then is unfair to the other bidders, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, that was, I was just wondering if it was insignificant enough that they could have submitted it back and then they could have been in the running
No,
for
we
the
were
project?
very clear as to the instructions. You know, we have a bidder's instructions. They didn't follow it, and so we rejected their bids.
Thank you for your time, ma'am.
And then I think Mayor Pro Tem Johnson, you also had I think C4 too?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I had a question for staff. I understand that the play area is being redone, but my question is, and because of what the water that with all the rain that we had, they can't get to it as soon as they'd like, so therefore they can't get to it until July. However, July is at the height of the heat season, so my question is, during that renovation of the play yard, is the splash pad going to be open or closed?
Oh, it won't affect the splash pad. This is totally separate. The splash pad is being completed as we speak. In fact, it may already be completed by now. So the splash pad will open as scheduled. This affects the playground area, and that will close down for that period of time in which they need to replace the soft materials.
And do we know what period of time that is? Is it a day, a week, a month?
Well, I don't think we have a specific start date yet from the vendor, but I would expect that it'll take a couple of weeks for them to complete it.
Yes, it's actually 15 days to replace the playground surface. But again, there's a long lead time to get the material, and so yeah, that will not happen until July. I do want to clarify about the splash pad. The surface has been completely removed and redone. It's brand new, it looks beautiful. However, we're still waiting for for the UV protection that needs to go on top of it. So we're in constant communication with the supplier to make sure we get that on time to open it, but it may not open. I just wanted to sorry, I'm sorry, diaper. So we're just getting weekly updates right now to get that UV protection that we need to put on it before we open it. But we'll keep you posted.
So when you say it might not open, you mean for the season or for a
No,
month
just
or a
until we
week,
get
or-
that UV protection on the surface. So we can't open it until that's done per the guidelines.
Warranty, for the warranty of the product.
Right. And just health reasons. So, but again, every week we're checking as to when we'll receive that application. So, but the surface is done if you want to take a look at it, and the shark itself has been also kind of redone. If you want to take a look at that, it's been done by one of our staff. I think it looks good, but we'll see how long that lasts. Okay.
Thank you.
Carissa?
Yeah, I just wanted to recognize and applaud how quickly the city responded to resident inquiries as to the park surface issues. I mean, this has to have taken months to do. So it seems like just as soon as it started pulling up and residents were complaining, city staff acted on it. So thank you.
Ben?
Yeah, I'll piggyback to what Ms. Johnson was getting at. Monica, you just stated that the company needed lead time for materials. Is that in addition? Is that in addition to the 15 days that's in the staff report? So if it is, it's going to be a little longer than the 15 days, because the 15 days, was my understanding, was just the period for the actual work to be done.
No, the material itself, and well, that has a long lead, but also just the contractor that is doing the work has a lot of backlog work from other cities, and so there's a long list. And especially due to the rains, he wasn't able to do those projects, so everything's delayed. So
No, I understand that. My issue is regarding your statement about the lead time for materials. Is that going to add to the 15 days?
Okay, so let's not conflagate the two issues. One is the splash pad. Splash pad has been completed. That's the one we're waiting for the application
I understand your
of the UV material, and the other one is the soft materials for the playground area.
Yes.
And that one, the vendor can't even start until July.
Yes, so as soon as, I mean, if he finishes his other projects sooner, then he'll be here, and it'll take 15 minutes from the time he starts. 15 days, I'm sorry, I hope it was 15 minutes.
Where's two, yeah.
Like this, right? No, and even shorter, we think he'll even finish it within 2 weeks.
Okay.
So it's just a matter of him finishing up all his other projects and then getting to us, so. But we'll try to stay in communication with him to see give us updates as to how soon he'll be here.
Thank you.
Okay, next one is B11. Who's got B11? Is that you?
I do. I just have a quick question. The meeting that is proposed to look at military-grade equipment, my question is the equipment going to be there for people to actually see, or is it a video presentation?
Hi, good afternoon. Yes, this is, as everybody's aware, this is a newer requirement for us, so this will be our first meeting that we've had regarding this matter. It was my intent to have the meeting in person and also via Zoom. However, any of these items we are going to have on display for anyone who may want to either see them online and come up close and personal to the equipment. Much of this equipment is also items that we, as we all know, the armored vehicles on display at all of our public events. Also, some of these items have also been demonstrated in our open house as well. But so these are items that some people have already seen, but we will have some of these items on display for those to be up close and personal, can ask any questions they want. I'll have our experts there from the police department as well to speak about the items.
I got a question to ask you. I don't care for this law that passed, but if someone's a felon and decides to go to this meeting and wants to see this equipment, do they have that right?
Well, yes. seeing the equipment and maybe not handling it, but yes, anyone
Well, they
who,
can't
anyone
touch
to-
it, but they can come,
regardless
they
of
can
their
come to the meeting
status.
room, ask questions, see the equipment, all that good stuff.
They can, well, we'll have certain items on display and well guarded, but they won't be able to articulate the items.
Well, I
or
don't
touch
like
them.
this law, but I'll leave it
yes,
there. All right,
so.
thank you.
Thank you very much
You
for
got
your
something, Ben?
response.
Or no?
Well, no, I concur with your comments. You guys know my opinion on this
All right.
new requirement.
Okay,
It's absurd.
let's go to C5. Who wants, how about Tenisa's time on C5? I know you both pulled, but I'll give Tenisa's time.
In the report, as I understood it, the current response time should be 9 minutes and 59 seconds, but it's sometimes up to 20 minutes. And so if we make this change, what should we reasonably expect the response time should be? Is it going to be 9 minutes and 59 seconds? Is it going to be 5 minutes or 15 minutes, or what will be different if we
Well,
make this change?
that's the objective standard, the 9 minutes. So for example, if you look at the budget to determine how quickly the Montclair Fire Department responds in relation to EMS-related services, 9 minutes is the desirable maximum response time. So in this particular case, because it's a private vendor, they get a little bit of leadway because they're not necessarily here in Montclair. At the moment a call comes in, they may be in Chino. The particular ambulance company serves Montclair and Chino as far as the emergency operation area. So the 9 minutes and 59 seconds is giving them a little bit greater flexibility. During the course of the last several years, because of labor-related issues, in other words, hiring employees has been a problem, just like it is for every agency. They've not been able to staff their ambulances with the appropriate personnel. Sometimes they've been responding with EMTs as opposed to ALS-trained paramedics, and that's added further to the problem. So the expectation is that should the county, which actually will make the decision on May the 4th, this Thursday, as to whether or not they're going to approve the county's bid or there's one other vendor, I think, that is supplied, which one they're going to assign it to, then the AMR is the other bidder. And they'll decide on May the 4th which one will get it, and then our expectation is that if it's this JPA, the JPA in partnership with a private ambulance vendor will achieve and maintain the 9 minutes and 59 seconds.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Ben, you have anything?
Yes, sir. As I understand the staff proposal, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. City Manager, when we spoke today on the phone, this item is to allow for us to enter into an agreement with 11 other agencies, primarily west of the 15 freeway, the west end cities of San Bernardino County, to enter into an agreement and submit a request for proposal for our own services so we can have a little bit more autonomy and control over the response times other than relying on AMR. Correct so far?
Yes, it is a
Okay, good.
JPA, a Joint Power Authority.
And we, as one of the 11, would get a voting voice on the entity and have an alternate rep on the board that would govern this new JPA with Confire.
That is correct.
What I want to say is I'm not here to cast aspersions on AMR. I think they have done their best to provide the level of service to the residents in the county. I do know, though, that at the height of COVID, the demand for them was significantly increased. They had staffing issues. Their response times were a lot greater in trying to get to the volume of calls in dealing with the pandemic. And I do understand that AMR has, in talking with my friends from fire agencies in Rancho and Chino Hills, AMR has even offered some huge signing bonuses to bring on new folks, hired for 30, 60-day terms, some medics out of state to come in and service portions of the county, and to try to address the 9+ minute call response time. And I do know that in some instances, the AMR medics have even been offered or have been paid the equivalent of $17 more than what our Montclair fire captains get paid. So AMR understand this, that AMR's primarily source of income for their business is the county of San Bernardino, and that is their moneymaker. And there's nothing wrong with that. They're a private entity. They provide a service. Nothing illegal about it or unethical about that. But I do think that we need to address it because it's become a problematic issue for our firemen and those in our emergency operations system area or EOS area, which is Chino. And it would help address the issue of mutual aid, because whenever there is not a ALS medic on the call, our medic in our fire department must accompany the patient to the hospital and stay with them until they're admitted in the ER. So, and that prevents another service call, us from providing another call that may come in subsequently thereafter. So I applaud this. I hope we can get the bid. I have been a benefactor of AMR services in the past 6-8 months a few times, unfortunately, but I've had to use them, and they've been professional, and they've been very helpful and kind, and even through a bumpy ride on several potholes, they were sticking an IV in me, and they managed not to. It was like a seamless feeling. I didn't even feel the potholes. That guy was that good. So anyhow, I applaud this. Thank you, staff, for bringing this forward, and hopefully we can get the bid and move forward.
Yeah, thank you very much. I just want to appreciate staff for analyzing the subject, educating me on the subject, because I've been lobbied by some of the folks out there. And so I've been asked to sign letters of support, or at least letters of interest on behalf of the City of Montclair. So I appreciate both, I know Ed and I know both Robert and our Division Chief, which is, my brain's gone blank, sorry.
David
Paul, three of you for really digging on this issue and trying to understand it. So thank you. Okay, I think that was the last item. So with the exception of D1, we'll be continuing. Can I get a motion for the consent calendar?
So moved.
Second, Mr. Mayor.
Okay.
I will second that.
You had a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Johnson, second by Councilmember Lopez. Motion includes to continue item D1, and we'll do roll call vote. So can I get roll call vote?
Councilmember Lopez.
Aye.
Councilmember Martinez.
Aye.
Councilmember Rue.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Johnson.
Aye.
Mayor Dutray.
Aye.
0.
Thank you. Adopt a 5-0. We'll now move down to communications, and I'll start with Marcia.
Great. Thank you. Good evening, Mayor, council members. I'd like to announce just a few upcoming activities and some save the dates to mark on your calendar. Our summer day camp registration began today, and it's open to those entering 1st through 9th grade for the 2023-2024 school year. The cost varies depending on the number of camp days chosen to attend. Space is limited to 40 participants a week, and the registration is being taken at our Recreation Center front desk from 7:30 a.m. to 7 p.m., Monday through Friday. The Senior Center will be hosting 2 Cinco de Mayo activities this Friday. A mariachi band will be performing live during the lunch program, and beginning at 6 p.m. there will be a bingo bash. Doors open at 4:30 p.m. and a $20 pre-sale ticket is available through this Thursday. Your ticket price includes 10 bingo games with a $100 winner at each game and a taco dinner. Tickets will be $25 at the door, and the event is open to those age 18 and older. I'm happy to announce our weight room and racquetball courts in the Recreation Center will be reopening next Monday, May the 8th, and will be available for use from 7:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. Monthly weight room membership is $20, but is free to Montclair residents age 60 and older. We have some new weight room equipment in the facility that I'm sure the participants will enjoy using. So for marking your calendars for some upcoming activities and programs, our next food distribution will be Thursday, May 18th, 9:30 a.m. in the Community Center. Feeding America will also have their food distribution on Thursday, May 25th at 12 o'clock in the Community Center. And hopefully when the UV protection is completed, our summer kickoff will be Saturday, May 27th from 12 noon to 3 p.m. at Alma Hoffman Park. Of course, the highlight will be the splash pad reopening. And we're hoping the splash pad will be open beginning that day and every day through Labor Day from 12 noon to 6 p.m. The Community Activities Commission's Memorial Day program will be on Monday, May 29th at 6 p.m. in the Memorial Garden. Finally, our 9th Annual Country Fair Jamboree is scheduled for Saturday, June 3rd from 12 noon to 6 p.m. More details will be shared about these activities and more at our future City Council meetings, or please go to the city's website for more information. And that concludes my comments for this evening, unless you have any questions.
Nope, I have nothing. Thank you for the information. Next item will be City Attorney.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have 3 items as indicated in the agenda. The first one is to meet in closed session regarding pending litigation in regard to the City of Montclair versus the Monte Vista Water District. The next 2 items are to meet in closed session regarding real property negotiations. The information is stated in the agenda as to the negotiating parties and the negotiator. Other than those 3 items, I have nothing else this evening.
Thank you. I just want to note that regarding item number 3, in closed session for real property negotiations, I have a potential conflict with this item due to the fact that my mother's business conducts business with the person listed on negotiating parties. I'm listed on her living trust as a trustee, and so I'll be recusing myself on item number 3.
Is your perception that this is the tax business?
Yes.
Okay, this is the building that I think operates as a salon.
Yes, but the person listed there is my mother's CPA.
Okay.
That's the reason why. Excuse me. Oh, city manager, it's all yours now.
I have no items.
Okay. Give me a couple of minutes to get myself. Okay, first time I have is I'm going to announce notice of vacancies. We have 3 terms on the Planning Commission. The terms are expiring at the end of June. So essentially, there were 3 positions that we have to interview, advertise for. Those 3 individuals are Commissioners Ginger Eaton, Sergio Saun, and Jaso Sanchez. Qualifications, obviously, the applicant has to be a resident of the city of Montclair. The length of term will begin on July 1st of this year. And so we will go ahead and advertise these 3 positions to the public. And then, of course, through application process, our committee will interview the potential candidates for those 3 positions. Second of all, I just want to, excuse me. This is the month of May, and there's a lot of events that are taking place. We want to obviously begin to recognize 2 Heritage Month. One is the Jewish American, and the second one is the Asian Pacific American Heritage Month. So I want to recognize our Montclair residents. And then there's a lot of other days. We just had the National Day of Prayer. Also during the month of May, where there's a day of nurses. There is the National Teachers Day. There on May 15 is the Peace Office's Memorial Day. There's the Armed Forces Day. Of course, 2 other significant days in May we'll talk about later. Probably our next meeting will be Mother's Day, and also will be Memorial Day. And I think actually, don't think we meet. I think the next meeting's after Mother's Day, if I'm correct. So for all the mothers in the audience, happy Mother's Day. Last week, or the week before that now, 3 of us, Councilmember Martinez, Mayor Pro Tem Johnson, and myself, we went to Washington, D.C. for lobbying. We left there, I think we all arrived Sunday afternoon or evening, and we all left by Wednesday evening. And I just want to say who we met with. We met with our Congressman Norma Torres. We spent a lot of time talking about the goal line extension funding, the opportunities that perhaps the federal government can assist. We also discussed the $5.6 million that Representative Torres is requesting appropriations for the Montclair Transit Center Facilities Enhancement Project, which those projects from her office were announced that same week we were there. So we say thank you to her. We also talked to her about the Trans Center parking structure and the city acquisition of Trans Center parcel for Caltrans, and just expanding her what we're trying to do expand Gold Line, Metrolink, and the transit, and trying to develop that site there. And then we also discussed with her the Central Avenue Bridge replacement project. I think we were about $15 million. No, we're about how much? We're $15 million short, if I'm correct, Ed. Am I correct? Is it 15
$25 million.
25 million, excuse me. It's gone up since. But she also gave some suggestions on how to deal with the Department of Transportation when we met with her. We also met with Representative Judy Hsu directly and discussed the Gold Line project. We also met with representatives representing Congressmember Adam Schiff and Congresswoman Grace Napoltolini. Thank you, and I apologize. And again, we discussed the Gold Line project with them. We also met with representatives with both the office of Senator Dianne Feinstein and also the office of Senator Alex Padilla in two separate meetings, and discussed again essentially we discussed the Gold Line and again trying to determine the type of federal assistance we can get to move forward with that project. In addition to that, we went to the Department of Justice's COPS office, and we discussed several grant programs they have that could be of interest to the city of Montclair, specifically for our police department. Again, this is community policing development, school violence prevention program, and law enforcement mental health and wellness act programs. I know staff is going to be looking at those programs to see if any of those will be applicable to the city of Montclair. We also went to the Department of Commerce, met with the Economic Development Administration, really emphasized the discussion of the Trans Center and trying to see if there's federal funds to assist in the development of parking structures there. And we were given some local representatives to further discuss this and have this conversation if those funds could be available in the future. And then finally, we went to the Department of Transportation. This is after we met with Congressman Torres, and we discussed the Central Avenue replacement project. Again, the city has about $15 million from Caltrans. Total project cost is $45 million. So we had some good insights with the representative of the Department of Transportation. That includes for us to talk to our local Caltrans representatives regarding federal funds they hold, and also to meet with their local representative out of Los Angeles. And also there's some other grant programs that will be the end of the RFPs, the NOFA, excuse me, will be issued sometime later this year that we should be looking at as well. So I know staff is also looking at those programs with the assistance of Jamie Jones, our representative, a lobbyist representative from David Turch's office. I'm pretty sure my two colleagues on my left have some further things to say, and I'll leave it that there. And then finally, again, I just want to recognize the fact that Montclair College spoke of earlier. There was an event last week, which I know 4 of us were present, and it was a great event. 68 students from Montclair High School, obviously, will be receiving this generous scholarship. And I want to say kudos to staff. I know Marsha and your staff really worked hard, and a very special event, and thank you. So I know Councilmember Rue is on the phone, so I'll start with Councilmember Rue.
Yes, I am. I'm here.
Go ahead.
And I hope you can hear me. It's very difficult on this end to hear. We should speak into the microphone. Number one, the Montclair to College event was well done. I appreciated seeing so many of the community there. Most of the trustees from Chaffey College were able to attend, and I thought that's lent a wonderful, wonderful atmosphere and some great things for our students. Number two, and I will just say this in passing, I am opposed to any form of fee or charging on any mass transit. If we acquire a parking lot, I do not want to see any charge for it, and we can talk about that another day. I think it's a fraud. We acquire a lot and we charge people to park to use mass transit. To encourage people to use mass transit, it should be free. There are lots of systems around that work it out, where if you take your ticket and you put it in, it's proof that you've used the system, then you don't pay. We can come up with something, but I'm dead set against that. something I'd like to bring up, and I learned something in another city the other night. I will preface it this way. In our city, roughly 20% of our residents live at or below the poverty line. We also have a significant number of senior citizens and those who are just, on a fixed income and struggling. It's no secret that the utilities have hit everybody hard, every business, every resident, whether you're an affluent resident or whether you're that 20% that's at or below the poverty line. And the other night I was in a meeting, and it was in the city of Claremont. I was there for an item on the agenda. This was a consent calendar item. They've decided to put a pause on collecting the utility user tax for natural gas and electricity across the board. It's not income specific. It's a 3-month pause. This gives residents a chance to, perhaps see a little bit of a savings. They're not suspending it. They're not getting rid of it. They're simply putting it on pause. It may only be a few dollars, but that may be a loaf of bread or a gallon of milk. And we can't obviously talk about it tonight, but I will get some of the information from Claremont, and perhaps maybe in late June or so, we can agendize this or look at it and see if we'd be interested in doing something. They pass it on consent calendar. So that tells me they've already done some research on it. And the last item is something I've learned while I'm here in Sacramento. And by the way, for the public, this is not a taxpayer-funded trip. I'm not touring. I'm not in the Capitol. I'm working in my professional life. And it is important in my professional life to do this. And again, it's not taxpayer funded. While I've been up here, I've been hearing a lot with the legislature about Prop 13. There is a group that is trying to pull together some kind of a working group or something of that sort to talk about Prop 13. They view it's a negative. They would like to get rid of it. Whether that happens or not, most likely would not be this legislative session. Prop 13 has saved a lot of homes, it's kept people in their home. According to this group, they have several cities that have said they would like to get rid of Prop 13. Well, I would certainly oppose that. I will come out publicly and say I support fully Prop 13 as it was written, as it was enacted by the voters. If you were to take a median priced home in Montclair of $600,000 and use the 2% rule, that'd be a $12,000 a year property tax. A lot of people would be out of their homes. So I will keep you updated as to what happens, but I hope this council certainly will support Prop 13 and keep it there. Thank you. That's all I have.
Yeah, thank you, Bill. I'm not aware of anything about charging parking our transit center or in the future, or even with parking structures. So I'm added. You know anything about that? No.
No, that's not part of the discussion
Okay,
at this
so
point.
there's nothing proposed. And as far as your idea about senior utility tax exemptions, maybe you want to bring it up in the budget session in June and maybe staff.
Not seniors. I'm talking about across the board for about 3 months.
Okay, well,
But we can talk about that.
yeah, budget session.
Just an idea.
So, okay. Councilmember Lopez.
Since the immediate comment was made about the utility tax, I would be in favor of Mr. Rue's suggestion about us entertaining a pause on utility tax fees for all
But
residents.
let's be conscious of the Brown Act.
I understand, but
yeah,
if
so
we
can't
could
talk
bring that-
about it, and we can't talk about what our position is, so.
If we could bring back the discussion, I would concur with my colleague's item on that. Few comments. I wanted to thank whoever is responsible for putting the cones on the northbound right turn lane at Monte Vista and Palo Verde. Was that city staff, or did SBCTA do that?
I'm not aware of the cones, so I can't respond.
Well, the ever present complaint that I've been levying about northbound traffic on Monte Vista, when they should be turning right on Palo Verde, they're merging at the last minute into the northbound, causing a backup and.
Okay, you're talking about the vehicles wanting to make a right turn off of Monte Vista onto Palo Verde.
Correct.
So that probably would have been SBCTA at the request of city staff.
Well, I appreciate that, so convey my thanks to that. As a caveat to that, thanks, though, if you could please ask them to do the same on the southbound Monte Vista lanes on the right side, just before the 10. So that way those folks don't merge into the left and it forces them to go on to the freeway. It's working on the northbound side. Let's please do that on the southbound side. May 12th, for those that love baseball, at 6:30 p.m., Montclair Little League is having a family feast night at Lone Mart Field, where the Quakes play. It is $15 a ticket. There's discounts on hot dogs and other snacks. If interested, please reach out to Montclair Little League, or you can reach out to me and I can get you guys connected with them. But May 12th, 6:30 to 8:30 p.m., Quake Stadium, $15 a ticket. May 4th, as the mayor and the presentation at the beginning of the meeting, is National Day of Prayer. That was formally signed into law when Ronald Reagan was president. After the informal recognition of it, it was formally recognized through an act of Congress and a proclamation passed by them and signed by President Reagan, that the first Thursday of May be recognized as National Day of Prayer. And that does not just apply to the Christian faith, but to all faiths that choose to observe prayer on that day in the capacity thereof. The following day, so you can pray on Thursday, and then you can engage in responsible revelry the next day on May 5th for Cinco de Mayo. And I will always make this comment on this, our last meeting before the holiday, that the day is to commemorate the holiday, or the event is to commemorate the Mexican Army's victory over the French at the Battle of Puebla. And they were less trained, not having the most skilled of apparatus and devices, and they were anticipated to lose that battle, but they overcame. And in thinking of that chain of events, let's remember the people of Ukraine, because they're in a similar situation. For those of you, again, folks in Mexico don't celebrate that day so much as Mexicans on this side of the border do. It has become more of an American holiday than it has a Mexican holiday, but nonetheless, it is a day to have some fun and camaraderie with friends and family. If you choose to partake, please be responsible in your shenanigans and revelry of the day. Don't give our police officers any more added work that they need. I just had a question. In my absence for those several council meetings that I missed, did council vote to take an official position on SB 423, the bill authored by Senator Wiener regarding housing proposals?
I don't believe that the council took a formal position on that bill, no.
Okay, I was just curious. I did get the letter that the mayor signed to the committee. I would note that the customary timeframe to get a letter of opposition or support is, I believe, 7 days. We met that requirement by 2 weeks because the hearing for that committee was on April 24th. Unfortunately, the committee did not list the city of Montclair officially opposed to the bill and joining the many other cities as opposed to the bill. So if staff can perhaps look at that and find out why we were not included in the analysis and make sure that we are included in the analysis for other committees going forward, it'd be appreciated. I'm not opposed to the position that this letter conveys. I just don't recall that position, as well as the fentanyl bills, for asking us to vote for a formal position on those bills, so I was just caught off guard by them. That was my inquiry.
That was a request that we received from the League of California Cities as urgent items that required immediate action. So since these were positions from the League of California Cities, we immediately prepared letters and shipped them off. I'm not sure why we weren't listed, because I think that's first the Wiener bill opposition that went out within.
April 10th.
I think went out within 24 hours, and then it was submitted to the committee. I know it went directly to the committees. There's a website you go to, and you submit it to wherever the committee goes to, and then so I'm not sure why the analysis didn't put into this.
If staff can look into that.
Same thing with the fentanyl bill. That actually went out the same day that the urgent email came in from the League of California Cities.
If staff can just please make sure that our position that we submit is actually reflected in the analysis, just confirm there's a follow-up, just so we're properly reflected. If the mayor and staff is going to take the time to submit a letter, I think staff in Sacramento should be a little bit more prudent in reflecting our position. That's all, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, Mayor Pro Tem Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. In the interest of time, I'm going to just say ditto on a couple of things. Your report on Washington was very thorough, and I learned quite a bit while I was there. It was a good experience. And then regarding the Montclair College graduation program that most of us attended, dittos. It was fabulous. The Human Services Department did a great job as always. I also want to talk about the Easter extravaganza that we had last month. And there were several people who were sponsors of that event that were recognized by Senator Susan Rubio, but the certificates couldn't all get delivered. And one of them that I have in my hand is to the Montclair Police Officers Association. And it says, "Thank you for sponsoring Montclair's Easter pancake breakfast and egg hunt for the members of our community to enjoy. Your fun-filled family events provided spirited opportunities and participation for our shared local residents. On behalf of the California State Senate, it is my honor to recognize the hard work and coordinating efforts in providing community activities for all of Montclair. Congratulations." And this is for the Montclair Police Department. So I'll get it to somebody. And the last thing that I wanted to talk about briefly was the Vernon Awards presentation. There was a presentation from the Montclair Women's Club that I'm sure Councilwoman Martinez will talk about. But I just want to say, if only I could have the energy of those 13-year-olds who just, when somebody called their ticket number for a raffle, they jumped up out of their seat and sprinted up to the front. And I was like, oh, if I did that, I'd need to go to the hospital. So it was really a wonderful event. And I look forward to more events like that. That concludes my comments.
Well, ditto, ditto. I want to congratulate the graduates of the Montclair to College program. I believe there are 68 of them, and the program was so well put on. There were so many speakers and faces in attendance, and I'm sure they felt as special as they should have felt that day, getting up there to receive their many, many awards from all of the elected officials that had awards to present to them. And I don't believe I have anything to add about our Washington, D.C. trip. Thank you. It was as exciting as it sounds, but even more so. And I appreciate that all of the representatives made the time to meet with us because they are incredibly busy. And I will tell you that almost every single office that we walked into, somebody was walking out. So they are very busy working in Washington, D.C. And it was great that we had the opportunity to meet with them. And yes, I'm proudly a member of the Women's Club of Montclair, along with Mayor Pro Tem Denise Johnson and Marcia Richter, Andrea, and we have a few other members that are not here today. And we were able to award the Darlene Edwards Memorial Scholarship, which was a small token to a Vernon Middle School student who has shown, who has exemplified what we believe that Darlene Edwards exemplified, which is a commitment to improvement in education. And we picked a wonderful student to receive that award. She was very happy. And that was a great presentation that was brought on by Vernon Middle School as well, who recognized many students for their academic achievements. That's all. Thank you.
And I also wanted, I forgot, it's been so long now, the Easter event we had here at Montclair. It was after our last council meeting. I just want to recognize, obviously, Human Services, the Fire Department, the Police Department, Public Works Department, and our Technology Department for being out there to make sure this was a very successful event, which it was a very successful event, well attended. So I just want to recognize our staff. So we have committee meetings in the agenda, and we will now go into closed session. Thank you.